into that Champions League game on Tuesday off the back of a victory. Right, we've got lots to talk about, haven't we, gents? And we're going to do that. Performance for those Spurs boys, disappointment for West Ham. We'll talk about them in a moment. But Glenn, overall, what did you make of the Spurs performance?
Yeah, very good, very professional. I think they had the better... I mean, after the first 10 minutes, West Ham come at them. But they seemed to control the game, even in the first half. Should have had a goal. Which was disallowed, so they should have gone in at half-time, really, 1-up. But you felt as if they were in control of the game. And obviously, going down to 10 men, West Ham, it was always going to be tough for them. It's difficult when you go down to 10 men, but when you're a deficit, you're one down, it's very difficult. 0-0, you can hang on for a draw. You can set a team up to defend and do it, but you're one down. At some stage, you're thinking, well, let's hold it for a while. And what happens? You're going to concede the second, and then that's game, set and match. And Spurs just did the right thing. They saw the game out.
And they got into it very quickly into the second half. It was only 2 minutes in when Pape Sarr got on the score sheet. Xavi Simons with the assist, so nice for him to assist on his debut.
Yeah, of course. But I was really... I mean, when you look at the West Ham setup, you know, you see it and you're quite surprised, really. You see Sarr standing at the back post there, you see him there, and he's unmarked. And it's actually crazy. I mean, even if you saw this in a youth team game in under 10s, you'd be saying to the players, like, you've got to do better. You have to see that. You have to get organised quick. People have to communicate. Just see the setup there. Glenn, we couldn't believe it when we saw it.
Well, you've got 4 players we've highlighted at the front post, marking absolutely no Spurs player at all. And you've got Sarr at the back, completely on their own. It's all down, for me, it's all down to zonal marking.
Yeah.
You zonal mark, and I'm saying, well, I'm in my area, but no Spurs players gone into that area. So you've got to adjust. And team after team after team seem to do it. And they come unstuck, because if it's... you get a run and jump on a zonal player, then that can happen. But then, you know, if they're not, everyone should be matched up man for man, a little bit of zonal at the front post and maybe in the 6-yard box. You know, a good header of the ball to go and head and tack the ball. Yeah. At the end of the day, you know, it was too easy.
It's been a pattern. It's been a pattern, and that's the problem. Like, when you concede in the same goals week in and week out, the players have to take responsibility. You have to get organised quicker. Yeah,
you're not wrong there. Look at that. Goals conceded from set pieces, 6. Leeds are second in this with 3, so they've conceded double the amount of leads. But I don't understand. Why do managers choose to opt for zonal marking? Because I feel like more often than not, we're talking about how it doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying it for years. I mean, from corners, when the ball's astute and you can't see the ball, your players have got to run on you. Maybe when it's wide, a wide free kick and it's deep, you line up on the 18-yard box and you go back zonal. But at the end of it, the other thing I'd like to say is we all talk about set-piece coaches and we're all thinking about attacking set-play coaches, and we praise them when they do well, but it's a part of the game is defending. So they've got to take some criticism for the way that they're set up defensively. It's their responsibility, not just the attacking set plays, defending as well. And something at West Ham, someone's got to get hold of that and change it, because it's a pattern that just keeps failing them. So you've got, if you keep making the same mistake and you're not learning from it, you've got to change it, haven't you?
Yeah, and like I said, the players have to take responsibility. Yeah. From whether it's a wide free kick or a corner. It's that thing you always say, like, try and make first contact. But then when I bet Sarr, he probably can't believe his luck. Just standing at the back post, can see all the way,
he's got all the time.
It's just an easy finish for him.
Yeah, well, 7 minutes later, West Ham find themselves a goal down and a man down. There can't be any arguments about the Soucek red card, Glenn?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's gone in there malicious. I think if you see it in a minute, he's going with his toe. He's trying to flick the ball and just flick it past the opponent. And then he just follows through and he catches Palhinha. Of course he does. Look, there's his toe. He's trying to just flick it and he catches him. And as soon as he hits it, look, he's saying, look, I didn't mean it. That's the damage that was done. Unfortunately, he wasn't injured, but it was one of those that the referee made a very quick decision, and that was it. I think it was the right decision.
And then it wasn't too long before they doubled their lead.
Yeah, then me and Glenn, we actually watched this back, and listen, it's a good goal.
Great delivery.
It's an unbelievable pass, and the finish, like, it's clever because he has a slight glimpse at the goalkeeper, and then he sort of like headers it wide. But Ben spoke about this before, about the back four, where they should be, or even the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think we've put an arrow there because he gets caught in no man's land. Yeah. But I think what the arrow's going back is where they should have gone. not where they should have started from. Their position was fine, the back four, but they should have dropped.
Yeah.
You know, and the other thing is, when you go down to 10 men, you're going to have players with their head up and have time on the ball because they've got a spare player on the pitch. So you've got to be able to know when to drop as a back four or two centre-backs, and they didn't. They just realised and they stood there. It was a hell of a ball from Romero, I've got to say.
Oh, it was.
And a
really
fabulous
good goal.
finish.
Yeah, lovely header there. And then, to use Glenn's words, game, set and match as the third one went in.
Yeah, then it was too easy. And even with the third goal, to be honest, like, it's really poor defending. You know, and it's been a story of their season so far, to be honest. I mean, the ball goes wide here. And at this stage, 10 men, it's going to be difficult in that. But all you're thinking really is, like, let's not concede another one. But even when the ball gets into the box here, you have to get tighter. You have to get closer, and it's just too easy. It doesn't really do a skill or anything. I think it just moves his body a little bit. But I just feel like it's just poor defending. You have to get closer. You have to slow your feet down. And it's a great finish by Van der Ven, to be fair to him, with his week before.
I think nowadays, Jermaine, you would have had an absolute field day in that penalty area. Because if you look at defenders now, they're scared to tackle.
They're scared to tackle.
Anyone that's got possession in the penalty area and they're running at you, all them West Ham players, and we can analyse and say, look, there's no tackle, it was too easy for him. But they're scared to dip their toe in the water and try and make a tackle. Half a touch, bang, it's a penalty.
I think players, of course, they'll get tight, but then when you do that, then you have to make contact. But it's almost like they're getting tight jockeying and that, but there's no contact at the end of it, and it's just too easy for the attacking players.
For West Ham, from their perspective, we thought that they had a bit of breathing space over the international break with the 3-0 victory over Forest, but now it's back to what it was. How concerned are you for this West Ham side and for Graham Potter as well?
I am concerned, not only because of the results. The results are the results, and fans are going to be disgruntled. When a new manager comes in, you get an upshot. You see a team play differently. The results might not go their way, but they're playing differently. There's a different style, and it's quite positive. And the results have gone against them at the moment. There hasn't been a change. There hasn't been that upshot when a new manager comes in. I haven't seen a change in West Ham. They've just plodded along, similar to how they were before. And that surprised me with Graham. I thought Graham was a good appointment, and I thought he would take them up and push them to another level. And that hasn't seemed to, there's been no change there, and that's a concern. It really is.
Recruitment, do you think that was the problem in the summer?
But on the paper, I mean, if, like, you look on the paper and there's some decent players. Spoke about Samuel before. Yeah. Someone who he excites you, gets you off your seat. We spoke about Callum Wilson, in terms of recruitment, it's a good signing because he's a goal scorer. Yeah, but he didn't start. He's a goal scorer. He's hungry to score goals. You just need to keep him fit. They've got good players, but spoke about the fullback in Malik Diouf and that. But just, you can use football matches, but it's the way in which they lose the matches. They're just conceding too many goals.
OK. Well, from East London to West London we go, as we are now